But if I could free them, I would.
They may be good, but they still had us checking our watches and rushing to the washroom before the sweet bliss of their end credits.
Bitch.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best, longest Hollywood movies.
You don't even know who you are. You're nothing.
For this list, we've narrowed our picks to only mainstream Hollywood movies that must have been over 200 minutes long when shown originally in theaters.
You'll put up and you'll shut up. You hear nothing and you see nothing.
They have to be either critically acclaimed, commercially successful, and/or earn favorable reviews among the general movie-going public, whether it was during its release or later on in time. We're also excluding experimental films, director's cuts, and extended versions. Number 10, Cleopatra.
All hail Cleopatra, kindred of Horus and Ra, beloved of the moon and sun, daughter to Isis, and of Upper and Lower Egypt, queen.
This epic drama may have received mixed reviews, but with a budget that big and 4 Academy Award wins, it's hard to ignore Cleopatra.
You will kneel
I will what?
on your knees.
Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and Rex Harrison's performances have all been singled out. But then there's its running time of 4 hours and 8 minutes.
We must not disappoint the mighty Caesar.
It was 1963's highest-grossing film,
Everything's to be paid for by coin.
and despite some inaccuracies, it is considered a fairly close look at ancient Egypt during the time of the last active pharaoh. So we guess the length was necessary.
Everything that I shall ever want to hold or look upon or have or be is here now with you.
I must not be sorry for myself.
Number 9, Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur dominated the Oscars following its 1959 release.
If I cannot persuade them, that does not mean I would help you murder them.
In this epic historical drama, Charlton Heston stars as a rich Jewish prince during the time of Jesus, who was turned into a slave by the Romans.
May God grant me vengeance. I will pray that you live till I return.
Years pass, and then Ben-Hur is after his former childhood friend who turned against him.
This is the day, Judah. It's between us now.
Yes, this is the day.
The William Wyler-directed film is also known for the scene showcasing a 9-minute-long chariot race, as well as its lengthy but fitting score.
They are ready.
All of which serves to fill this epically long film with so much excitement it seems much shorter than its 212 minutes.
You may conquer the land. You may slaughter the people. But that is not the end. We will rise again.
They cursed us and drove us away.
Number 8, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. The conclusion to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy is epic fantasy at its absolute best. At least that's what an overwhelming amount of critics and moviegoers seem to think.
The way is shut. Now you must die.
After all, The Return of the King earned 11 Oscar statues and $1 billion in box office receipts around the world.
Wake up. Don't leave me here alone. Don't go where I can't follow.
Following hobbits Frodo and Sam with the One Ring, as well as Gandalf, Aragorn, and more as they battle Sauron, the film is 201 minutes of incredible effects, emotional storytelling, and so much more.
An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight.
Number 7, Giant.
Are you in love with him? Yes, I think so.
With a running time of 201 minutes, Giant earned its director an Academy Award, but James Dean didn't even live to see the final product. A car crash took his life when he was just 24.
It's here. And there ain't a dang thing you gonna do about it.
Following the tale of a Texas ranching family, the drama is a multifaceted and visually stunning one that tackles social, political, and racial issues with depth.
Get him up.
Get him up!
Today, It remains a classic of American cinema and further cemented Dean's status as a cultural icon.
You are an odd one, aren't you, Jeff? But I like you.
I like you too.
Number 6. The Ten Commandments.
I am here.
If you're looking for a religious epic that won't disappoint, then The Ten Commandments is a safe bet.
Behold his mighty hand!
Adapting the biblical story of Moses onto film, the Cecil B. DeMille production is 3 hours and 40 minutes of pure entertainment, with versatile performances.
You shall see darkness cover Egypt when the sun climbs high to noon. And you shall know that God is God, and bow down to his will.
Extravagant, excessive, and bold, the Oscar-winning film was also one of the highest-grossing flicks of the 1950s, and DeMille's last work before his death.
400 years is long enough. You've been sitting down and laying down and bowing down for 400 years. I think it's time to stand up.
Number 5. Malcolm X.
You're not an American. You're an African who happens to be an American.
Put a screenplay co-written by Spike Lee based on the life of Malcolm X, together with an Oscar-nominated performance by Denzel Washington, and what do you get?
You don't have to do this, Red. Red!
That is really dumb.
An incredibly poignant biographical drama, also directed by Lee, which brings to life the most crucial moments in this African-American activist's time on Earth.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the white man is a devil.
I sure met some in my life.
Well received by critics and finishing third at the box office during its opening weekend, Malcolm X definitely had people riveted for all of its 3+ hours.
Because the mother is the first teacher of the child. The message that she gives that child, the child gives to the world, so we have to be very careful.
Number 4. Hamlet.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Don't mess with director Kenneth Branagh, especially when it has to do with Shakespeare.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Of all the Bard adaptations he's done in his career, none has surpassed this 4-hour and 2-minute drama.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me.
Directed by Branagh and starring him in the title role, this feat of a movie includes every single scene from Shakespeare's original version.
Murder. 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 Most foul. As in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Talk about dedication. Despite being set in the 19th century, Branagh's Hamlet is well known as one of the most faithful Shakespeare adaptations in history.
He lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their help, and to the last, men did their light on me.
Say you're going to marry me. Say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Number 3. Gone with the Wind.
Fiddle-dee-dee.
When this epic historical drama was first released in theaters, it was screened with an overture, intermission, musical pause, and exit music, giving it a running time of between 234 and 238 minutes.
After all, tomorrow is another day.
But the film's actual length is closer to 221 minutes.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Regardless of the exact number, Gone with the Wind won 10 Oscars and earned much critical praise.
As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again.
Perhaps the secret to its success can be found in the central quartet of characters. Headstrong Scarlett O'Hara, charming Rhett Butler,
Sir, you are no gentleman.
And you, miss, are no lady. Don't think that I hold that against you.
and the less colorful but equally complex Ashley Wilkes and Melanie Hamilton complete a tangled romantic foursome thrown together and cast apart by chance, destiny, and the fortunes of war.
Scarlett, kiss me. Kiss me once.
Number 2. Lawrence of Arabia.
That's right.
Over 40 years have passed, and this Oscar winner still sets the standard for greatness in the epic adventure genre.
Come on, then!
And what an epic it is. At 3 hours and 42 minutes, Lawrence of Arabia keeps us captivated the whole way through, thanks to a phenomenal cast, an insightful script, breathtaking cinematography, and masterful direction by David Lean.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Meanwhile, Peter O'Toole's legendary performance as Lawrence will undoubtedly live forever.
Major Lawrence! Yes, sir, that's my baby.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
That damn fool Hickey knocked on my door. I opened up and I thought it must be you. He came busting in and made me come downstairs here. I don't know what for. I don't belong at this birthday celebration. I don't know this gang. I don't want to be mixed up with them. All I came here for was to find you.
Do you mind looking into my eyes, sir? It feels like a cinder.
Certainly. You know, a lot of them try to hide under Gentile names. But one look at that face, you just know.
With a little experience, you can even smell them out.
Number 1, The Godfather Part 2.
Godfather is a term that was used by his friends, one of affection, one of respect.
It's a gangster film, a crime epic, and a masterpiece.
He acts like I'm his son, his successor. But he thinks he's gonna live forever. He wants me out.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola and serving as both a prequel and a sequel to 1972's The Godfather, Part 2 is a cinema classic revolving around Al Pacino as Michael Corleone.
My offer is this. Nothing.
And Robert De Niro's Oscar-winning portrayal of Vito Corleone during 2 different time periods.
Sì, ma io è solo, ne oggi siamo 3. E io è armato e ne oggi siamo armati.
Running for 3 hours and 20 minutes, The Godfather Part 2 continues to be respected today and is often considered one of the finest achievements ever. Do you agree with our list?
Never! Smeagol wouldn't hurt a fly!
What's your favorite lengthy Hollywood movie?
You cannot, sir, take from me anything I would more willingly part withal.
With entertaining top 10s published every day. Be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Is that all, Ashley?
All except goodbye.